things you want to understand before a storm and not after is what's covered by your insurance. It's important to find out now. KITV4's Paul Drews has some need-to-know info about your policy.
When the warning sirens sound, will you be covered? Being hurricane ready means making sure your home is protected both physically and financially.
Everyone should understand the differences between a homeowner's policy, hurricane policy, and flood policy.
When Iniki slammed into Kauai, it not only changed the Garden Isles landscape, it also changed the scope of insurance in the islands.
Prior to Iniki, homeowner's policy contained hurricane coverage. But right after Iniki, many insurers stopped writing the hurricane coverage.
More than 20 years later, there are plenty of insurers, but now hurricane coverage is written as a separate policy. And unlike homeowners insurance, the coverage only applies when a powerful storm strikes.
National Weather Service do declare that it is a hurricane and the damage is a result of hurricane force winds.
Hurricane insurance doesn't cover everything in a storm. If wind sends debris through your roof and rain pours in, it's covered. But a leaky roof that lets in a downpour is not. Other types of water damage from storm surge or rising streams are not covered by hurricane or even homeowners insurance. You need flood insurance for that. Some may be prepared for damaging wind or flooding rains, but may not be prepared for the potential financial fallout from a hurricane. If your home is damaged, it will end up costing you. On a medium-priced home of $500,000, homeowners with a 2% deductible would have to pay out the first $10,000 of damage after the storm. Those with a 5% deductible would have to pay $25,000.
It's been a trade-off, I think, between trying to keep the premiums down and the rates down, and that's why companies have increased the deductible. So the homeowners in the hurricane policy retain some of the losses.
Homeowners need not only have the right kind of insurance, but also the right amount. In addition to repairing or rebuilding a home after a storm, belongings inside may be damaged or destroyed. Make sure you have enough coverage to replace personal property. Some may have difficulty submitting a claim because they don't have proof they owned it. So it's a good idea, as you review your policies, to take an inventory of possessions, including photographs of important or expensive items. And don't forget to keep the list, pictures, and receipts in a safe, waterproof area.
Now let's build that hurricane kit. Again, nothing fancy, just the basic things you need to have. The American Red Cross recommends a 7-day supply per person of non-perishable packaged or canned food, snack foods, cooking tools, paper goods, water, and toiletries. Don't forget a manual can opener. You should also have a first aid kit, any type of prescriptions you may need, a flashlight, and spare batteries. And a battery-operated radio. Make sure you have cash and credit cards on hand and important documents sealed in a waterproof container. Also, car chargers for cell phones. We said it earlier, we'll say it again. Storm surge is often the real enemy in a hurricane. Heading to a break, KITV4 meteorologist Pete Cajano shows us what storm surge can do.
Storm surge is often the most dangerous and deadliest aspect of a landfalling hurricane. Storm surge is created by the cyclonic winds rotating around a hurricane. These winds, along with a storm's forward motion, push a surge of water towards the coastline. As the water nears the coast and the seabed becomes shallower, the surge is pushed up and into land. Storm surge is more dangerous along shallower coastal slopes than along coasts that have a steep shelf drop-off.
As we head into the 2014 hurricane season, the KITV4 weather team will be your source for storm predictions, tracking, and live updates every step of the way. Let's get some final thoughts.
Hurricanes, unlike other natural disasters, do come with a warning. We do see storms develop as they get closer to Hawaii, and even powerful hurricanes have weakened before hitting the state, but not always. If this is the year Hawaii is again hit by a hurricane, being prepared won't make the storm any less powerful, but having a home hurricane ready could lessen the damage the storm inflicts, and knowing what to do and what is covered by your insurance and what you need to know if there is any damage could make repair and rebuilding that much easier after the storm. Simple steps you can take now, long before there's a hurricane on the horizon.
I want to remind everyone to focus on what's both precious and potentially vulnerable, our kupuna and our pets. When it comes to our seniors, know what their needs are. That includes medicine, mobility, and any other special needs they may have. Don't get caught in a last-minute scramble looking for all of this info. The same thing goes for your pets. Make sure you know in advance exactly where those pet-friendly shelters are. Lastly, none of these are really hard to figure out. You just need to make the time and effort and commitment to spend just a few minutes getting everything organized. Pete?
So you survived the storm, now what? The days immediately after a storm can be every bit as deadly. Rain and flooding, they're top concerns, but so are things like power and water. Electricity could be out for days. Be ready to live off of the grid with food and supplies that won't spoil. Beware of debris, fallen trees, power lines. Your hazards multiply after a storm, so you need to be extra alert. Mawani?
My final thought on this upcoming hurricane season is this. It's here. We can't change that. And we can't let 2 decades of relatively quiet seasons give us a false sense of security. Every hurricane season is unique. Every hurricane season has the potential for danger. So be ready. If it's just the basics, so be it. But a plan is essential, not optional. You won't be able to play catch up in the final hours before a storm. And as always, trust us, your KITV4 weather team, to bring you the information you need to know this hurricane season. Mahalo for your time and be safe.